Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to share with you another comparison review for you, and this time it is with the Tarte Tartelette, and inside you have a huge mirror which I'm going to cover up. So there's a huge mirror, you can just see that, and then you've got all of those gorgeous muted tones there, browns and berry shades, and the palette that I am going to try and see if it's similar is the Makeup Revolution Redemption Palette Iconic Elements. So it looks like that, and it's got those gorgeous muted shades inside. Now I do have another one because I know that that's got the muted shades, but it hasn't necessarily got the deeper berry shades. And bearing in mind that these two palettes are £4 each from Makeup Revolution, and obviously the Tarte Tartelette palette is a lot more than that. So obviously, if you wanted to see if there were any, or if I found any similar shades in here, obviously you could purchase both palettes and it would still be a lot less. And this is the Romantic Smoked. So let me just show you these together. So obviously this one is all mattes apart from this shade here. And then in this one there is a 6. The first 6 shades going across this way up to that one are shimmer shades, but that one, yeah, it is a shimmer shade. So the first 6 are shimmers, but nonetheless, if I can't get the exact, well, I don't know if I'm going to get an exact match, and I'm not saying that these are necessarily dupes, but with the other comparison review videos that I've done, it's not necessarily a dupe. It's just finding a palette that perhaps gives you that same look as the Tarte Tartelette palette does. I'm not saying either one is going to be better than the other either. It is just that if, for example, you're on a budget, or for example you don't want to spend that much money on an expensive Tarte palette for whatever reason, there are palettes out there that have similar shades, and that is what I'm looking for today, to see if either of these two palettes do have similar shades to the Tarte Tartelette. I love the Tarte Tartelette palette, I absolutely love it, but people don't necessarily want to spend that much on a palette, or obviously their budget restricts them from doing so. So I just wanted to see again if these two palettes from Makeup Revolution would give you that similar look. So what I'll do is I'll swatch the Tarte Tartelette palette first, and I'll go across from the start. So where are we going? Across here. Just go across each one and try and find a match or similar shade in the Makeup Revolution palettes. Also, I will find out the exact price of the Tarte Tartelette and list that below, along with all the information regarding the Makeup Revolution palettes as well for you. So the first the first shade is from the Tarte Tartelette palette, and it's called Free Spirit. It is a cream shade, and I'm just going to double up on that swatch because it's cream. I want to obviously see, or let you see, the shade. So I'm just going to double up on that on the Makeup Revolution. So this is the shade Free Spirit, and this is the second shade in the Makeup Revolution palette. So obviously they're not a complete dupe, but obviously cream, it doesn't matter really about cream, it's going to give you that very similar shading on the eye, although that one is more of a yellow toned and that is more of a cream tone. So the next shade is Force of Nature, and it is a brown shade. Swatches absolutely fantastically. And then I'm going to see if I can find a match in the Makeup Revolution palette. This is from the Iconic Elements. So again, it swatches very nicely, but it is more cool toned. That's more of a red toned brown, and together you can obviously see the differences there. So there's not a complete match to that, although obviously that they come from the same colour family, just that one is more red toned and that one is more brown. Then the next shade is called Dreamer. So that's Dreamer, a fantastic swatch there. And the shade that I'm going to go for is the 5th shade from the end on the Iconic Elements. So that is called Dreamer, and that is the 5th shade along. This one here, it's obviously difficult with these palettes because they don't have names. Now, it's not an exact match, but it is a very similar shade, as in it comes from the same colour family. This is obviously more deeper and this is a little bit lighter. The next shade is the last shade on the first line from the Tarte Tartelette palette, and it's Multitasker, and this is very deep. And it's actually nearly black, so I'm going to see if I can find that. I cannot find one that deep at all in either palette. I'm going to go for this shade, which is 2nd from the end. I know it's not a match, it is more of a grey tone, and it's 2nd from the end, so I will just swatch that. In fact, actually, that's not bad. It does look more grey, but actually when you swatch it, it's got a deep brown. So yes, that's not bad. That's obviously more brown toned, and that is a deeper brown that's got a grey tone to it. So then we move on to the 2nd line. I'm just going to clean my hand, only because that was such a deep colour and I don't want to mix it because this is now a very light shade. And this is a pink shade and it's called Caregiver. So that's Caregiver from Tarte, and I'm just going to see if I can find one. I'm just doubling that one up because it is quite a light shade that I've gone for in the Makeup Revolution, and it's that one there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th one along. They're not exact dupes, but they are very similar. This is more pink. This is more of a brown. But, you know, although they're not exact, it's not bad. And, you know, you're getting very similar shades. The next one from Tarte is called Natural Beauty. And it's that gorgeous mauve tone. The one from Makeup Revolution is this one in the middle. I'm going to try that one. So that one is the Makeup Revolution. I'm just going to see if there's one from the Romantic Smoked. I'm just going to try the middle one again. It's in exactly the same place. So it's this one here. I'm going to try that one because that is more of a purple shade. So actually, although it does look quite purple in the palette, the Tarte Tartelette does come off more of a brown. And perhaps that one would, no, that's from the Tarte palette as well. Yeah, it does look really, I'm just going to show you it because it does look really purple in the pan. And it's that one there. Looks very, very purple, like a lilac. But when you swatch it, it really does come off more of a brown tone. So not an exact match there. But obviously you could possibly get away with that. If you obviously, like I say, these are not going to be exact dupes. They're going to just give you that same shade. This one again is meant to be deep purple, but again it does look, it's coming off quite purple in the sorry, quite brown on camera. So I'm going to try this shade, and this is this one from the Romantic Smoked palette. Actually, that one's not too bad at all. It's a little bit more purple because that has come off brown, but that's not too bad at all to give you that similar look. Then I'm moving on to the, and that shade was Best Friend. That was Best Friend, sorry if I didn't mention that. The next shade is called Bombshell, and this is a very, very deep shade. And that looks near enough black. So I'm going to try the last shade in the Iconic Element palette. And they are near enough exactly the same. I'm just going to clean my hand because we all know with black it will get everywhere, as it has done in all of my other videos. So far they're not exact, but it's not too bad. You could still make the same look with that. So then we move on to the last row, and the first shade is called Super Mom, or we say Super Mum, and it's a cream shade, and this one is more of a yellow tone. And I'm just going to use this one from the Makeup Revolution. It's the same shade that I tried in the beginning, but let me just try swatching this one again. It is difficult with light shades. There we go. So actually they're not too bad. They're near enough the same. And then I'm going to swap arms because I haven't got enough space. And the next shade is called Wanderer, which is a very light, warm brown. And then I'm going to try from the Makeup Revolution, it's this one here. So it's a fifth from the end. So actually they're not too bad. That one's a little bit deeper, but not too bad at all. Then we move on to Power Player, and this is a deep grey, it looks like, but actually it's coming off like a brown. And I'm going to try the third one from the end in the Makeup Revolution, which is this one here. And they're not too bad at all. I mean, I know the Tartlette palette is very good quality. You would expect that for the amount that you're paying, and it is a very, very good brand. But for Makeup Revolution, a £4 palette to get a swatch that is very, very similar quality to the Tartlette is absolutely amazing. So they are very, very similar. And then the last shade is called Fashionista. This is black, a jet black shade. So I'm going to try from the Iconic Elements, the black. And that is very, very similar, apart from, in fact, actually, that one has a little bit of a purple hint to it. So I'm going to try the black from the Romantic Smoke palette. Yeah, that's more of a true black, actually. So the Romantic Smoked gave me that, and that is the black from the Tartlette. Obviously, black, if you want to deepen that up, all you have to do is build that up a little bit to get a deeper black. But I think you'll agree that's not too bad at all. There are differences within the shades, but you could build up a very, very similar look with those two palettes to the Tartlette if you wanted to. And like I say, these palettes are only £4 each, so to purchase both would be £8, which is absolutely phenomenal. Like I say, you can pick them up from Town Beauty or purchase them in store or online at Superdrug. I mean, it's amazing that you can get such good quality products, for a very minimal amount. So obviously, if you didn't want to purchase the Tartlette, I think that quality is definitely there for the Makeup Revolution, and there are some very, very similar shades in there if you wanted to go for those. So the only two that I really used out of the Romantic Smoked was this one here and then the black. So only two, the rest were all from this one, which is the Iconic Elements palette. So, you know, very similar. It was just that deep purple and then the black one at the end. So I hope that was of some interest to you. Obviously, thumbs up, and if you enjoy these and you want to watch further videos. But thank you very much for watching, and obviously subscribe if you haven't already done so to watch further videos. Thank you very much. Bye.